Joined this evening by Congressman Bob Latta. Thank you very much for your time. As you're headed back to Washington the next day or so here. I want to talk to you first about the Pledge to America.
Right.
It came out from the Republican Party kind of as an energizer as we get closer to November. What do you see as your role in the Pledge to America, and how do you see it fitting in with what you do?
Well, number one, I think we got the Pledge to America is really from the American people. We had American speaking out events across our districts. It's not where we were going to go out and talk to the American people. We wanted the American people to talk to us. Mm-hmm. So what was compiled at these meetings, and also on the internet, when you could go to the American Speaking Out website, the American people could go there and register what they wanted to see Congress doing and where this country should be moving.
Okay, so what are some of the key points for people that aren't familiar with it?
Well, I think some of the big things is, jobs in the economy. How are we going to get jobs back in this country? How are we going to get jobs back into Ohio? That's the number one thing, because when I've been out in my district, I represent the largest manufacturing and the largest ag district in the state of Ohio. And one of the guys, I was in one of my factories going through in one of the counties, and a gentleman who was running a press said, I don't understand what you guys are doing in Washington. He said, why are you worried about health care? He said, if I don't have a roof to put over my family and put food on the table, those are the two most important things to people.
Okay.
And so what they're looking for out there is ideas, solutions to how we're going to get back on track to get jobs back, not only here in Ohio, but across the country.
Okay, and you or somebody that's fought against the stimulus plan that we had, what do you see as the key then? If you don't believe the stimulus plan worked, what is your solution?
Well, number one, what you got to do is we got to quit spending. We got to let private enterprise get out there and create these jobs, because we can't. The federal government doesn't create anything. We just consume wealth. Mm-hmm. And so the number one thing that we want to make sure is that the people out there that are the job creators have that opportunity. One of the things in this pledge is that we'd have a 20% cut to businesses. So let's just say you made $100 in 1 year, you're only going to pay on 80 under the plan. You'd have a 20% cut. But let these people take that, what they keep in their own pocket, reinvest in more machinery, and then also to hire more people down the street.
Now, just on the surface, this feels like Contract with America Part 2 from many, many years ago. Do you see it that way, or is this something different?
Yeah, I think that this one, the way it was put together, I think it's really coming from the American people, because, again, everything when I read the pledge, it's everything I've heard in my district. When I go around, the factory after factory, or businesses are being out on the street, it's the same thing. People don't like the health care that the Democrats passed. Now, no Democrats even want to admit they even voted for it. And then you've got a situation out there that, this cap and trade legislation would be the largest energy tax ever imposed on Americans. Fortunately, that's not moving right now in the Senate, but it could move in a lame duck. And people are worried about all the over-regulation and the debt and the deficit here. And so people look at that and they go, you know what, we can't move forward if we got all that hanging over our head.
What do you think about the possibility of extending the Bush tax cuts? A, do you support it? And B, do you think it's going to happen?
Number one, I absolutely support it. We've got to do it, because, number one, you never raise taxes in a recession. I don't care if somebody in Washington said, by the way, the recession ended last year.
You go June of 09, I think it was.
Come out to north central Ohio and tell these people that the recession's over. They'd laugh in your face. So, number one, we have to keep all the tax cuts. Number two, that I think that what they're going to do, the Democrats have already said they're probably going to punt until after the election, and then try to take it up at that point in time. But if we don't do something and get it done, we're going to see the largest tax increase in American history occur if we don't get this accomplished. And the number one thing is that people say, well, we should have them for these people and not for those. But when I've been out talking across my district, a lot of these are the entrepreneurs out there. These are the people that created the jobs and want to keep creating jobs. But you're not going to do that if you say we're going to take more money from you.
Right.
And what we're going to do, we're going to send it down to Washington, and look what a good job we've done at spending money down there.
Right, so try to stop it in there.
Yeah.
All right, Congressman, we thank you very much for your time.
Thanks very much.
Best of luck as you go through there and as we continue on to November.
Thank you.
And that is your Talk Back.